All right, Hal, we're just going to take a look at your new entity today.
Watch the sneakers.
What the hell are you talking about? Dude,
Not cool, homie.
dude, shut the hell up. We're recording. We're rolling. We got to get this going. Welcome to the Stockboy Gaming channel. Today, it's the Entity MT.
Watch
Oh my
the
God.
sneakers.
How?
Hold up next to the
Dude, shut the fuck up. Oh, Hal's apparently lost his mind, so we're just going to go straight to the cars. Hal's giving us an awesome new toy today in this new Entity MT. We're going to be testing for real drag times, top speed, technical circuit lap times, combining them all together at the end for the Stockboy speed score. It's a performance index for GTA. You'll know everything you need to know about this car's performance by the end of the video. It's a great looking car, and I was really excited to see a Koenigsegg Jesko in the game. We're going to La Puerta Dragway first, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put this car up next to the Deveste Eight, the HSW Deveste Eight, because to me this is the most natural competitor for this car in this game. Then after that, we're going to see how it does against the absolute best HSW car in each category. So 2 races for each test, and we'll see how this goes. Heading to that 8th mile line first, you're going to see the Deveste Eight has a slight advantage. Now this is a little bit weird because Deveste Eight's basically a school bus. It's so long, it doesn't actually beat the Entity MT to the quarter-mile line like it looks like it does there. It's weird, it's complicated, but based on the way that I calculate these times, it actually barely loses to the quarter-mile. And then we see the Entity pull ahead by quite a bit at the half-mile. So promising stuff from the Entity MT so far. But what does it look like against the Cyclone 2? Best drag car in the game by a mile, and it's still gonna be a little bit ugly. So this Cyclone 2 is just so quick in a straight line. It absolutely annihilates the quarter mile. Not even close. So what are we looking at? Well, for drag times, this Entity is actually really fast. It's got a 9.4 quarter. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, when we're looking at the absolute best housed cars, it's only 6th fastest when it comes to drag time. So that's a little bit disappointing. It is quick. You'll notice it on the street, but maybe not quite as fast as I was hoping. But going to Seaside Speedway, this is a Jesko. This needs to be very fast here. This needs to have a great top speed. I mean, the car in real life approaches 300 miles an hour. This needs to be one of the fastest cars in the game. We're going to see how well it does here. I have high hopes. Again, it's going up against the Deveste Eight, which has a very good top speed here. It's in the 150s for the house variant, which in GTA is extremely fast. So knowing that, what do we expect to see the Jesko? Well, I would love to see it in the top 3. We're going to see how it does at the Speedway, and it's only in the 140s. That's absolutely unacceptable. I have no idea who the f makes these cars at Rockstar, but when you look at how fast that is compared to the top 3, it's quite a bit slower. When you're talking about a 10-mile-an-hour difference in this game, who looked at the Toyota 86 and said, you know what would be a good idea? Let's make it 10 miles an hour faster than a Koenigsegg Jesko. Oh, alright, I'm done with my little rant. Now we're going to go do this. Maybe this is what it's good at. Let's see how it handles a very technical road course up against that Deveste Eight first. Now, I've mentioned the Deveste Eight as a school bus. It has such a long wheelbase. You have to attack the circuit pretty differently in the Deveste Eight. It's got a lot of power, but you have to make your straightaways pretty long. That's not a good sign for our new Entity MT or MF. Is it MT or MF? It's MT. Too many freaking letters. But man, this is kind of scary so far. We're looking at that Deveste Eight and how far ahead it is at that second gantry. Got a really tight hairpin. This is where the Entity should start to pull in a little bit closer, start to reel that car in more and more. But even with that long wheelbase, the Deveste Eight just has more traction. The Entity, and you'll see this more in the cinematic video, the inside tire in the rear spins a lot, and you would think that would mean oversteer, but it actually still understeers. It's the weirdest handling. It's so hard to get used to, and it's a little bit unpredictable. So this is a pretty good lap in the Entity MT, but you can see it just gets absolutely smoked by the Deveste Eight. Did not expect that at all. So what does it look like against the fastest HSW car in the game at this track? I'm not going to show you the whole thing because we already know it lost to the Deveste Eight, which is not a bad car, by the way. Here's a little link up top. You can check out just how good it is. But This weaponized Ignis is unreal. A 52-second lap time at this track is just absolutely unbelievable. It handles so well. It has that goofy gun on the top, which I absolutely hate. I wish we could rip it off. It would be a perfect car. We can't. For now, we just have to watch it absolutely spank the Entity MT. You can't even see the reverse start and finish line from where that thing is. But looking at the lap times, the new MT does do a 56-second lap. That's very fast, but for an HSW car, it's not that great, and you can see the top three there. The Entity actually comes in 8th in the HSW class. Again, kind of unacceptable. If the top speed was better, maybe it wouldn't be unacceptable, but we're looking at a 101 speed score for the Entity XF, or not XF, man, MT. That's not great either. 8th place overall in this class just has me a little bit confused. So I'm not really sure what they're doing making these cars, but maybe, just maybe, this car will do much better on a street surface. That's what we're going to test next, because a lot of people would tell me, not a lot, some people would tell me sometimes, well, that's great, but on a street surface, this car would do yada, yada, yada. Well, let's find out. We've got that Deveste Eight going first. My custom little street circuit track. I love this place. It's extremely tight, very difficult, and in a car as long as the Deveste Eight, very, very, very challenging. You can see we lose traction there a bit, but it starts to fly downhill here, and we're going for each apex. It actually hits them pretty well. We lose traction a little bit, but it hits that curve nicely. And they're already into the last hairpin. It's a little bit wide, but it takes that curve well, and it's going all the way down to the start-finish line. So overall, that's a pretty composed lap for something that's so long and so huge. I'm satisfied with that one. So we're gonna see how well the new Jesko can handle it. Heading up this hill, you're gonna see no problem at all uphill. Right here we have to brake a little bit early, mainly because it's got a lot of power. We slide a little bit, but we're able to maintain a good line, keep it nice and tight through the hairpin. It's looking really clean so far. I love that shot there. Now we're sliding a bit, coming downhill. This is where I have to brake pretty hard, right there through that corner. It doesn't like that corner. It can upset a lot of cars. We're on 2 wheels going through the hairpin. Very nicely done though, able to maintain a lot of speed going to the start-finish line. So how well do we think we've done there? Well, it still loses. The Deveste Eight, I was really surprised, still had a better lap time. And although these are not 100% laps, it's pretty telling. As far as how easy it is to drive, stuff like that, this is not an easy car. I actually had to do something that I haven't had to do in a long time. I had to slow down when I was driving this thing and just get used to it on slower laps before I kind of gradually got faster and faster. It's really tricky because that back tire starts to slide a bit. You get those skid marks and you start to think you're going to oversteer, but you're not. You're still kind of understeering through the corner. It's such a strange car to get used to. Once you do, it's kind of fun. You can use that to your advantage a little bit. You saw in the hairpin, you can make the car maybe rotate slightly more, but not as much as you would expect. It's still a great looking car. I just wish it performed better in some way, shape, or form. It is no better than 6th in any category in the HSW class. So if you like this car, you like the looks of it, go buy it. It's fantastic. I'll still have it, I'll drive it, but probably not worth racing if that's all you care about. Thanks so much for joining today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments too. Thanks again. Hope to see you next time.